back to Opie Hour. So we are now on day 6 of the underwater world build, which has the train going into the water. As I said at the end of day 5 is I will get all this done so it saves a bit of time. Do bear in mind that the top here, you have to, don't cut that in because that's going to go on the roof like the other one. I did go ahead and put these little beads on just so I didn't lose them really, and now we're going to go ahead and put these windows in. So I'm going to grab my wood glue here, and I'm going to do it, doesn't really matter I don't think what side you put it on from, so I will put it from the outside going in, and you don't need too much wood glue, probably putting way too much in. And I'm just going to get them both prepped because it takes a while to dry, and then it will take a little bit shorter time for it to bond and we can get building. So today we should hopefully get this done and might even move on to the next part we have is the train station. So hopefully we will move on to the train station. So my neighbour is outside gardening right now, and my puppy thinks it's obviously all my garden, so she insists on letting me know about it. And with this I'm just going to do that, and I got glue on that, so I'm going to get that cleaned up in a second and then put this one on. I'm putting the glass or the plastic really on the inside, so it makes it easier. And I'm going to just put, because I haven't overly glued this, I'm going to put these on without any greaseproof paper. Madam, he's not in our garden, it's all good. And just make sure it's really lined up and pushed in as far as you can. And this, I need to give it a quick wipe over because I put it straight in where I put glue. That's not the smartest thing. Oh, and I dropped it in the dog bed, which also isn't the smartest thing because guess what? We have dog hairs. So I'm gonna get this sorted here and use a bit of water to get that cleaned off. Now the dogs across the road are barking. It's all very important, somebody out in their garden, you know, doing their gardening. Alright, so I'm going to put one on the other side as well when I can get one that's not been stretched, just to make sure that we keep it in place here. Right, okay, so those are done and put together, and now we can move on to putting it actually together, including wiring. So first things first, I have my Bondic. We are going to put wiring on. Did I test this one? I cannot recall. Let me go and do that quick. Alright, that works fine. You also have to make sure on this particular piece that you do have a little bit left over on both sides as well. So on the inside we are going to put this, and it says for the bend to be 90 degrees here and 0.2 centimeters here, which seems very small, doesn't it? Especially when I look at the picture, and that does not look like 0.2 centimeters at all from the photograph. I mean, let me show you. I can show you exactly what I mean. So this is meant to be 0.2 centimeters. That doesn't look like that at all. It looks like 2 centimeters. So let me see. I don't think I'm going to do 0.2 because 0.2 would be here, and I don't think that's right. So I'm going to do 2 centimeters because that looks closer to what they show in the photograph. So just going to bend it like that here, and then stick this, making sure that the top is still there, and this will go, the piece of wood will go on the outside of here. So I'm going to put it here. Again, I am going to use Bondic. I'm going to use it a bit further down because there's a little bit of movement there. And get my Bondic out. Like I say, it's possible, you know, you can use normal glue. You could probably use lots of other types of glue. Really, I'm going to do it a reasonable amount in because I want it to have a secure fitting over here. And I think this is very much running out. Said that yesterday, didn't I? I need to just buy a new one. They're not cheap, really. They're not very cheap at all. But they do a pretty good job. Came in very handy with the Mooning House build, using the Bondic. So, let's see. It really is quite running out. I have to glue if I can't do this, because I don't think I've got another one to hand. Yeah, that's gone. Right, we will order one of those. Guess where that's coming from? Never heard me ever use this company. Amazon. Of course it is. Right, so we will glue. I'm just going to work out what glue I want to use. Let's use some super glue, because I love super glue so much. Now this is getting low as well. I need to get some more supplies, aren't I? Okay, fortunately most of the lights, I've got one left over, which is a blue one. Like I say, I think when I did the coral, I can't remember if I tested the colour of the lights or if I noticed that after the event. So I might very well have the wrong colour in there. Right, that's done. So we are now going to, these are the floor pieces. We are going to get this piece here, and which piece? The one with this one. So it looks kind of like 3 windows. And this is going to go here, and the other, then we're going to put this one on. So that'll give it a moment for that to set. So I'm just going to do all the edges like so. Alright. Seeing if I could zoom in any more, but apparently not. Get these out the way. And hopefully that glue had dried where I had it right here, so we don't get it. So make sure the grey colour's all on the inside. And then do this one so that the light's on the inside. And also at the bottom here. Although I did do it on the other piece, so of course you can't see anything, and now it's all moved anyway. Keep this upright 1 second, because this paper, I did not trim it, the bottom here, so that's not going to help. Just go careful if you do it after the event, you don't go through those wires, which are wonderful. Just going to get them out the way for the moment so we can get this on a flat surface. There we go. And that looks like that on the inside. Then we put one of the chairs, the 3-seater chair. So for me, that's the one with my little people on, against this wall here. So we're going to get that going. Now we'll see how square it was. Probably wasn't square at all, but we will find out. And we want to push it in so it's not quite on the edge, but it's reasonable. So something like that. Close enough. And then we are going to put some stuff on the roof, which is this piece, and I haven't got that ready, so bear with me and I will get that out and ready to go. Alrighty, so we want to turn this upside down, and we are going to put it near the longer edge along here. So again, I'm going to use wood glue, and then I'll probably use, if I can get any out, some super glue. Need to put this bond dip to one side so I remember to reorder. And it's going to go along the longer edge like so. Whoops. My puppy's scavenging. And just make sure that it's in enough, so I'm going to push it in a little bit more like so, and then I'm going to use, like I did last time, super glue to add the elements. So this will be this one on the non-slanty end, or closest to, and you want it facing this way like so. Oh, that already went on me. Ah! Don't do what I just did. Wow. Probably would have been easier just to attached it to here first. Allow that wood glue some time. So I need more because I messed it up. You want it that the handrail is going in that direction. Let me hold that together for a second. Of course, I think I've done it with the one that had a bit of super glue on it. It's taking forever to dry. In fact, I'm just going to leave it on my board like this. Do the same with this one, because this one faces long ways too. And leave them for a few minutes, and then I'll worry about putting them on in a minute or two. Right, and then that is the next thing to do. So we will wait a moment for that. Then we are going to stick the light to this edge here, the shorter edge, and we will do that in a moment. Alright, I will be right back. It'll be instant for you but longer for me. Alright, so that is on, and now what we're going to do is attach it to this piece, turn it around the right way so it goes in like this, and it just sits on top of it all. So just making sure that that's right. Then why would that be so much bigger? I think this goes on the top, so the fact that I cut that bottom bit off is probably wrong. Don't do that. Alright, corrected. However, what I'm going to do, if it shows, well it will, is put a little bit of blue marker along here. So now I'm going to get this roof ceiling on, and it goes on top of this one but on the side of that one. So we just want glue along this edge and this one here, and like so. Let's make sure it is all the way against that one, which it is. I'll give that a moment to line up, which it's not lined up, so let me just move that there, move that here, a little bit of manoeuvring, right onto the edge here and here. Okay, so it will look something like that with your piece of papers over. Just going to line that up a little better. Alright, so once that's done, you will glue your light onto this ceiling, which I'm going to use B7000. So I have run out of that glue. Worst comes to worst, I do have this one, which I do quite like this. I like the fact it has a brush, which is kind of cool. But for the purposes of this little light here, I am going to use some Bondic as I move everything out of place. Yeah, let's try that again. Never be beaten. My goodness. And then have that dangling down like so. Sticky stuff. Alright. Okay. Alright. Happy-ish with that. So all it's going to do is sit there with this. Well, I'm having trouble with this now. Well, let me get that sorted and my washing machine's taken off anyway. Alright, so rectified that little problem. And I found a little strip of paper, so I just put that on there. Actually, we're still attached to my scissors, so my scissors I think need cleaning. Alright, so next we will put this on here, which I am going to use wood glue for, so it has a bit of movement. And then we're going to put this wall on. So I'm going to do that. It doesn't go dead on across next to where the wall's going to go. So if you've got it a bit crooked, like I say, this stuff, all this effort that goes into it, really you're not going to see much of. So something like that. And then we're going to put this wall on, which will go, let's see if I can get this one right. So it'll go at the bottom of this one and inside there. Like so. Get these wires out the way, they're annoying. Yes, like so. Okay, so I'm going to get that done. Alright, got that on, that's drying, got that on the window. So next what we're going to do is do the roof decoration as such. So this one piece of paper needs to be wrapped around here, so it's like an arch. So I am going to use, I think, super glue for this because it's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. And that will be the green piece done, and then we're going to put a strip of blue on the edge. I did think about doing it the other way around, but I'm not so sure that that would work. So I'm going to put a bit of super glue here to get it started. And you want the green colour to be on the outside, like so, but not like that, like so. Just going to hold that for a second, it shouldn't take long because it is paper. And then I'm going to use B7000, I think, for the rest of it to go around, and then leave that to one side. Maybe I should use super glue at the end. Yeah, a bit late. Oh, super glue didn't hold anyway. That's more problematic than I'd like, as I stick to the inside of it. I'm not sure of an easy way to do this. I'm sure there probably is one. Oh, my puppy's brought in a stick. Keep telling her off. Somebody I know quite well introduced her to sticks. What can I say? When we go and visit them now, she's not allowed any sticks because she keeps bringing them in the house. And she can't control herself. And I don't want her to have them just because I don't want them to splinter. especially as she's teething right now. So you're going to do it something like that. Going to hopefully be able to leave that to dry. Get this middle part on better. Funny enough, it's where the super glue was that's not sticking so well. I think what I'm going to do is go and get some masking tape and hold it together. I'll show you in a sec. Plus I end up with wood chippings all over my carpet. Never a good idea. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to leave the masking tape on long because I don't want it to rip at the paper. But I'm not 100% sure how else to do it. And then while that's doing that, we will get on with the next piece. Right, so that's kind of just super masking taped in there. Next is we are going to put these 3 pieces of wood together inside here. Just make sure I have it the right way round to make a cylinder. And I do. So I'm just going to get that fluff off. Do a run down here, and then after each one goes on, I will put a little bit of B7000. I'm going to leave that to dry for a moment. She says, I really need to get a new bottle of this out, I guess. So many things. Just put a little bit B7000 on here. Pop that on there like so. Basically we're going to make a cylinder. It's just decoration for the top of this carriage. Like so. And the same with the last one. And then I think we will put these little circles that we have, this one and this one, on the ends ready to go. Now I'm starting to wonder if this is the right way because we're going to have leftovers. I don't think we're meant to. I think it's meant to go that way instead. Let's try it that way before it dries. This is what I get for measuring it first and then doing the opposite. That's a bit better, isn't it? Give that a moment. Make sure it's all lined up. Of course you could stick them all together, probably put a cocktail stick through the middle and it would line it up. If a cocktail stick, or even a pin. I don't think a cocktail stick would work. And then what you do is pop these little circles on the end here, and we're going to roll this up. Just going to give it a second for it to all dry, or at least catch. Trying to put the wrong lid on the wrong thing. Too many lids around. Alright. So, let's put one of these on. Come here, fella. I'm sure you're probably meant to put one last, but I just don't want to lose them. Same with this one. And it's still a bit bigger on this side. Maybe I'll split these up a little bit if I can. Get it more towards the edge, like so. As long as they're lined up, it should be okay. And then I can leave that a moment to set up and come back to you. I'm going to take this masking tape off just because I don't want to peel off the paper, she says. Hoping and praying. Oh, stinker. It didn't peel it off, it didn't stay together either. Right, super glue, here you go. Have a job. You have one job. See if we can make you work. hold that for a bit, and then we will get that blue one on, and this will be ready. We're going to be cutting this green piece too. So I'm just going to hold that for a minute or two, and then pop this over this edge, which technically I could have done when it was flat. It might have been better. I just thought that it might show this edge, but that's not the way it's going to go on. So I'm going to get that on. You stuck yet? Nope. I swear super glue shouldn't take this long to dry. I want to stick to everything but the bit of paper. Trying to make this work. Right, leave that to one side, and we'll go back to doing this, which I think I'm just going to use the beacon for. It's paper, it's going on wood, and we're just going to roll it. So it should be quite straightforward. And then we can unclamp the train, because I clamped it up to make sure it was pretty square. I'm going to roll this. That's the end of the glue there. Don't need as much paper as they've given us, really. And then just check these ends are okay. I've got some wood in my nail. This one's in slightly. All right. Okay, I'll leave that over there for the moment. And I can see this has not worked whatsoever. Maybe I should use the beacon for this, huh? Because nothing else is working. And at least it becomes quite sticky right at the beginning. And it is paper to paper. Really, I probably should have used that in the first place. Right, I will be back when this behaves itself. Alright, so I think we have it resolved, but in the meantime, it looks kind of okay. In the meantime, I'm going to take the rest of these clamps off, being that one already fell off. And that's kind of sealed alright. And get these, this wire, get these roof ones put down here, and I'll probably fasten that again while we get this blue strip on. So I'm just going to use paper, the beacon, paper to paper, stop stringing on me. I'm going to get these down. My puppy's outside again. I can guarantee that she's trying to find another stick, and she's probably struggling to get it because it's so big, and is going to bring it into me as another gift, which I know you're all saying you should really appreciate this gift from your puppy, but you know, when it splinters all over the show, I'm not so sure I do so much. So all I'm going to do is thingy this, you know, that, put this out way too far, thingy this down on this side so I can leave it in the sun. One more, make sure it stays on there. That's fine. Then put one on this side, just a tiny bit out, a tiny bit, not the world. Meh. And put this on here. I'm going to do it from this direction. No, need a little bit more. There we go. And put it this way to try and get these sides down. Huh. Can't get it. Oh. Wow. Let me lie it down. It's probably easier for my grip there. And then put the end one on and down. Hopefully this will, it's very stringy, that stuff, and hopefully this will do what I want it to do. And I'm just going to leave that by the window. See, this one's too loose. Right, leave that by the window for me in the sun and get that kind of down. Alright, let's glue the outside of this and get this strip on. Hey, she has not brought me in a stick, she's come back. It is a beautiful day out today, so it's spring and it feels like it's not warm, but it's not terrible either. And I actually don't know what I've done with my tweezers. Put them somewhere safe. I was using it. Oh, there they are. I was going to say I was using them. So it's not warm, but it's actually quite pleasant. Maybe if I bent this paper before I try and put stuff on, it would be better. Okay. And then this is going to go on the roof of what we've just built. And then we will be cutting the back of this at an angle. So what I really want to do is try and maybe I can use this. That's going to be too big, isn't it? Yeah, it might work. And put some weights either side to try and position it basically for a bit. And see, let's put the glue, put this, put my water on either side so that maybe it can just position a little bit. So, well, that doesn't work whatsoever. I guess we will just get it on the, when we get it on there, we'll just get it on like that. And this piece runs straight down the middle, so that we can do while we're waiting. And it goes over the edge here. So I will get that on. Let me get the water out of the way. She's playing. We don't mind playing. Just a bead going, won't go all to the end. So you can see that the length of this piece of wood here is about, and I'm going to put it seam side down, is about the length that we're going to be cutting into, but we don't cut into it until we've got it on the roof and it's set. So I'm going to bring that roof back, take these clamps off, and hopefully that's kind of done the job. It's out the way. That's not terrible. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. But now because it's more tacky, it works. So then we run a bead about, we want to leave a gap. So it's not going to go on the green at all like I've just done. Get rid of that. Don't need it all shiny. Get that tissue, went straight on the floor, and she likes those, and I don't want her eating something covered in glue. And the glue's bubbling. So we are going to put it a little bit in, like so, and then I'm going to glue the outer edge of this as well. And you can see it's still not quite stuck onto that, but hopefully this will resolve the problem. Especially if I don't touch it. And get it as even as you can. And back a bit maybe. What you want is some of the blue showing all the way around. I don't know that there's an easy way to do this. Maybe if I bring my marker back I can use that. Just get that dry bit of glue off. And then you can see we're going to be cutting this edge across here. So it wants it actually towards the end of this, so let's move that back a bit. Sorry about the squeaking. She's found a toy. Right, I'm going to hold this in place. You don't need to watch that. But you can see what it kind of looks like, and then I will come back and give it a cut. Alright, I'm reasonably happy with that. It's still wet, but so now what you want to do is cut this paper so it's roughly a little bit better in line with the wood, which is actually not as easy as one would think it would be. You don't want it sticking out like that, because it's what it's going to do. It's going to go across against the mirror at the back of the model itself, and I think that will be okay. Should stop messing with it, because that's how you screw things up. Alright, so that is that, and we now put this to one side and start working on the platform. So I'm going to get a few things together for that. Probably won't get that much done, but we might get a bit done that hopefully we can see some progress on it. And it would be nice if we can get it all done, but I doubt it. We're not going to get it all done today. We can but try, right? Alright. Right, first things first, we have several pieces here that we need to cut out. Some of which need to be folded, like this, and this will all be folded. Those ones not so much, but they all need cutting out, so I'm going to get and do that. Alrighty, so this is what we are going to start with. We are putting a bench together. Basically, all we have to do is put this, that's going to be the seat, so put this on the back like so. Just going to use B7000 for that. It's pretty strong. And you just want enough at the bottom to catch the other piece, really. Put way too much of that on. I'll just put that on even with a bit from the bottom showing, not that much. And make sure it's about even on either side. Maybe down a little. Stringy. And then we are going to turn it around and glue upright the bottom of the seat onto these pieces here. I just moved that. I felt it move. I have lots of paper bits to do on this, but you've seen me do them before, so I'll just show you what it looks like, and then I'll just move on and put them all together. And so the back has the big piece, and this is the seat, which is going to line up so that it looks like a deck chair. Then underneath here it will have 2 feet, which I have not got out, so let me get those. I see a frame in here. I wonder if I missed putting a frame on the window. I will have to have a look. need 2 feet, so grab those, and those go on the bottom here. Just make sure it's lined up as best you can. Glue stuck to me. And again, I'm just going to use the B7000 and put it to one side and go and check if that was in fact the window for the front of the carriage. If it's anywhere, it's going to be the front of the carriage, and I just missed it. And then I'll work out whether I'm going to worry. That's 1 and 2. I can see it's very stringy because it's all over my hands. Right, so I'm just going to put that in there. Get off me. It really is attached. Oh, as I drop these as well. So what I'm doing is putting the feet on the bench, like so. It's really stringy. Doesn't want to let go of anything. Ooh, dog hair in there for good measure. Just gonna put it upright and turn this. I can see it's very crooked. And put that to one side for a few minutes. Right, next we are these. Let's get some bits out. So this big one here, this will go in the middle of, so I'm going to stick that ready. And this one, which is a briefcase, I believe, or a small hand luggage, will go in the middle of this one, like so. So I'm going to pop the glue on that. Going to again just do the B7000. I've got it out anyway. It's getting very stringy there. I need to get another one out. I bought several of these, so I've certainly got plenty, unlike the Bondic. And just roughly get it in the middle. I mean, you can fold all the edges up and things like that first if you want, but this works too. And then do it in the same with this one. Put it on here this time. I'm kind of lining it up to that top edge really, and then we will take, there's 2 tiny pieces. I don't know where one of them is right now, can't see it, but one is this one, and this goes on the mailbox. Come back. So I'll put a tiny bit on here, and one goes inside if I find it. The other one goes kind of across the lines here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's put this lid back on and we'll see if we find that tiny piece. It is tiny, so I wouldn't be surprised that I haven't lost it to everything. So this is the lines I was talking about. So I'm going to take this piece here, if I can even pick it up, and turn it around, and this will go in here like so. Right, let me see, did it stay in one of the pots? It did not. That might be too much to ask. Oh, I found it there. Look at that tiny little thing. And this is also going to be at an angle. So it will look, get off me, kind of like that. And that is your mailbox, so that can go to dry. It's going to go on my tray. I've got a tray of little bits and pieces going on here. Next we have a newspaper here, which you are just going to fold. They just say fold, but I think it wants to be folded in fours, and this is going to sit on that bench we just made. So I'm just going to get that over there. And it says to stick it. I'm going to use beacon for this. Because my B7000 has gone so stringy, I'm attaching to everything. Not that this isn't just as stringy, by the way, it really is. I should get my tacky glue out. It's definitely not so stringy. And this will go on here. And it lets go of me. And then I'm going to put that straight on here. Which side up? That's the question. Maybe this side. I don't know. That side has a prettier picture. Wow. I think my B7000 went every single place. I'm going to use the super glue so I can get rid of the thing. It's going to stop attaching to me. Maybe. And my whole bench has fallen apart. That's what I get for not waiting. I'll get that mended. Might be using super glue on that soon because of impatience. Okay, something like that. Not that you could see me doing that whatsoever. And you can kind of put it where you want. It doesn't have to be in the centre. Then we are going to take this and double it over so it looks like a scarf. And put that over here, like here. So again, I'm just going to use a bit of super glue for speed. Right. And that can go on like this. Well, it would. Sorry, just got an ambulance roll up outside. It's outside my house, which is always worrying because, you know, unless they know something I don't. Okay, and then we're going to take a small piece of this, and we are, not this one, this one. Very small piece, and we are going to unravel it. So let me cut a piece off. Unravel it so it becomes paper, basically. So if you keep, not the easiest things to do, I've done this before. Can't remember what model it was, but yeah, have to kind of get in there and separate it totally. And I'll show you what it looks like when eventually I get it done, rather than you sitting there watching me. Probably easier with tweezers if my tweezers don't have glue all over them. Let's get in there. Alright, let me show you in a moment. Alright, and when you unravel it totally, it creates this sort of size. We need about half the width of this. Maybe even a bit smaller. Basically it's going to act as a luggage tag, believe it or not. And then we need a small, need two of these. We need one which is 0.8 centimeters. So I'm going to get that done, which will be around here. Whoops, as I move the whole thing. One small one, that's for the suitcase, and then the other one, or the hand luggage I guess, and then the other one is 1.5, which is going to be about here. And then we make those into circles. I have just the tool for the job. And this one, like I say, is for the hand luggage, as in this one. Maybe I can get that down a little more. Yeah, something like that. And this one, roughly in half, like so. And then on the top piece, we are going to put this piece of paper. So I'm going to use, I think, beacon for this. And you want to basically thread it. You're going to act like it's a luggage tag, like if you were going on a plane. Guess it would make sense for a station to have some luggage. I'm just going to put that on here. Could have done with being even thinner, couldn't it? Oops, didn't do anything. That's probably because I got it the wrong side. And then pull it through and basically stick it to itself. That's kind of how it looks in the photo, except it's going to be even at the bottom here. That's not that uneven, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make these boxes. This one you're meant to put wrap, as I throw it, this around. Not so sure how confident I feel about doing that to make it into like a parcel. We will see. I will give it one go. So I'm going to get those all done. And then also put this sticker here on the signboard, which I also don't have, which is cool. And that's like a map of whatever world this is meant to be. So I'm going to get that done. Let's get that out. There we go. And then lastly, the no entry sign will be stuck on this little piece. So let me go ahead, get all of those done, and I will come back and then we're going to call it for today. Okay, so we managed to get all that done, even managed to get the little parcel not looking terrible. If I can get it to focus. It's not great, but kind of looks like a parcel. I don't know why they bothered to put the blue in there. It just about breaks it up. Got the sign done, got the no entry sign done, got the suitcase done with the little tag. Ooh, can't see that well either. There we go. Got the hand luggage done on here. Doesn't look particularly pretty, but it's done and the handle's on, which is the main thing. I might end up putting, and the book obviously in the scarf, I might end up putting the, where was I going with my train of thought? Might end up putting some people standing up against this. I will see on what the scale looks like. If it looks weird, then I'm not going to. All right, all of these pieces I'm just going to put to one side and get them to dry. So that will be it for today. Tomorrow we'll be putting the platform together along with the bit underneath the train that's going to support it when it goes inside the water. Fascinated to see how that's going to come together. Won't know until I try it. So that'll be interesting for tomorrow. Anyway, do feel free to comment or send me an email at opallyhour@outlook.com, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. And do please like and subscribe, that way you can be informed of any new content, and most of all, do take care of yourselves. Take care. Bye bye.